revision. Revision can be a game changer in living a magnificent life. For you, really manifesting your heart's desires. But I do believe most people don't use revision enough, and they don't use it effectively. And today I'm going to talk about revision and how to use it effectively so you can change your destiny, how you can change your future if you make it a habit to use revision on a daily basis. Now, you don't have to take my word for it with regards to the power and the potency to do with revision. You only have to read the chapter on revision. It's called Pruning of the Shears from Neville Goddard, and he goes into great detail about revision and gives you a great understanding why it's so important. In fact, I remember hearing once that Neville said that if there's anything you take from his teachings, the number one thing, the most important thing you should learn from his teachings is all about revision. Now, I'm not going to just take Neville Goddard's word for it. I have something else to prove to you exactly how important revision is. And this comes from, believe it or not, Joseph Murphy. Joseph Murphy was a great thought leader, a great metaphysical teacher, and also a great thought leader on the workings of the conscious and subconscious mind. And Joseph Murphy wrote a lot of books, but one of my favorite is this one, which is Your Infinite Power to Be Rich, right, by Joseph Murphy. And he has inside one of his chapters, it's called All Business is God's Business. But he talks about the fact that, remember that all you have to do is change your present thought and you will change conditions. And this is why I'm saying revision is so important to your life. It should be like brushing your teeth, because he's saying that you are always experiencing the outward picturing of your mind's activity at every moment. What is happening to you today is the result of today's thinking and feeling. So you have to start thinking rightly right now. The future is always the present moment. And you have to really master staying in the present moment all the time and using it effectively. You see, your trouble today is the result of today's thinking. In divine mind, there is no time or space. Your good is literally this present moment. The past, believe it or not, is a present thought. So think about it. Right now, you're in the 3D, in this present moment. But most people are in the habit of using their mind ineffectively, using their memory ineffectively. And memory is a higher faculty. They are using their memory ineffectively to constantly regurgitate the past. And most of it contains very negative experiences. Most people are not using the present moment effectively. The past is a present thought. The future also is a present thought. The future. So right now, if you're not using your present moment effectively, you are creating a future that you do not want. And often this future is exactly the one you have right now. So you can only really think right now. You can only really live in this moment. So it's imperative that you change this moment by changing the way you are thinking about yourself, about money, about relationships, about your business, about clients. If you start to really capture and stay in the present moment right now, all the time, and constantly use your imagination effectively to create not only the future, but to revise the past, then you are really creating a phenomenal destiny. You see, think about it. We're right now in the present moment. And for example, this is how you use revision effectively. For example, you might receive a surly text. You may, for example, get an invoice that you right now can't afford, but you can revise it on the spot to go to your bank account. Don't look at the negative, but imagine you have the money, right? Imagine you have the money to pay the bill. You can even revise it on the spot with positive, powerful statements like, oh, I can easily afford that. I mean, God is the source of my supply. God is never late, right? I have more than enough money to meet all my wants, needs, and desires. So you see how you can revise it on the spot. You can revise it if, for example, you're a business owner and a client, you've done a sales call and they say no in the moment. Well, you can actually revise it on the spot to say, oh, you'll be signing up with me. Yes, you're in, are you? Oh, you're in. Great. Great. So you can actually revise it then. And even if you get off the call, you can revise it to exactly the way you want it to be. Now, you might be saying, but Tanya, I don't have my cash and prizes yet. If you can constantly revise the things that are not to your liking in the present moment with your day-to-day living, then what you are doing, you are changing your future. You are actually affecting your future, because if you can revise any unfortunate circumstance and pretend that it went really well instead, and put in some self-concept statements that you always get what you want, that everything's always working out for you, that God is the source of your supply, that you're always chosen, that you're everybody's number one priority. If you keep revising it like that, then eventually your future is going to only contain the revised parts of what you revised yesterday. Can you see how this works and how important revision is? And so I cannot stress to you enough the importance of getting into the habit of revising throughout the day. Neville suggests you do it at the end of the day when you're going to sleep. Revise the day the way you want it to be, so the next day will be different. But I say, why wait? Really, why wait? Because if you're not revising the unwanted throughout the day, then you possibly may forget at night, because you're in that state akin to sleep. You want to go to sleep. You may forget certain components, and it can be quite tiring at night trying to revise the entire day because you are tired, ready to go to bed. So I say, well, do it on the spot revision when things are not going to your liking. And if you can do it regularly and get into the habit of doing it, then there is no more of those days anymore. There are no more no's. There are no more lack and limited bank accounts, because you're constantly revising it, right? You are using your mind to imagine something different. And remember, in our imagination, creation is finished. So if this is resonating with you, I'd love to hear your comments below. And if you're new to my channel, a very warm welcome. I'm Tanya Pluckrose, and I'm all about helping you master your mind so you can master your life. So stay tuned. I've got another juicy one on its way, and thanks for your company. Bye for now.